Welcome to our third Virtual University of Livingstonia Foundation fundraiser. The foundation has been in existence for 19 years, and next year will be the 20th anniversary, and we hope to have a hybrid fundraiser program then. Now, I have the honor of introducing Reverend Leslie Klingen-Smith of St. Matthew Presbyterian Church in Silver Spring, Maryland, and she'll open our program with a prayer.
Thank you, Cromwell, and greetings to everyone in the University of Livingstonia Foundation and all who support the University of Livingstonia and the good work that they are doing. I bring you greetings from the session and congregation of St. Matthew Presbyterian Church. We are proud that several of the board members of the Unilia Foundation are members of St. Matthew Presbyterian Church, and we have been delighted in past years to host in-person fundraisers for the foundation and to participate in the virtual fundraisers. We look forward to the time when we can gather together again in person. But for today, it is a treat to be together online. I know that the source of all that is good in our lives is none other than our Creator God, and I invite you to join together now in a prayer of thanks and blessings. Let us pray. Loving and gracious God, we give thanks for this opportunity to come together in service to you. We give thanks for the wonderful work of the University of Livingstonia and for the faithful efforts of the foundation that help so many students be able to study and succeed there. We ask that you be with this gathering today. Speak to our hearts, move us to generosity, help us to know the best way to be loving and strengthening neighbors to our friends in Malawi. We pray for the nation of Malawi that they may know your peace and your strength. We ask that you would be with the faculty and the students of the university and all of the staff as well, that they could continue their good work in educating students for years and years to come. And we ask that you would bless the work of the foundation, that they can continue to provide scholarships, equipment, and renovations for the campuses. We know that you are the source of all blessings in our lives, and we give thanks to you and ask that the work done today would be for your glory. We pray all of these things in the name of the one who unites us and loves us all, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. May I now introduce the DCM, Mr. Martin Banda, the Deputy Ambassador of Malawi to the United States. Mr. Ambassador, welcome to the virtual fundraiser.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Reverend, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really excited to be part of this meeting this afternoon. I wish to start by extending greetings and well wishes from Her Excellency the Ambassador, Justice Esme Jombo, who would have been here with you this afternoon to support this noble cause. The ambassador returns on Monday from UNGA, and she requested me to represent her. Ladies and gentlemen, the need for higher education in Malawi cannot be overstated, especially considering Malawi's development blueprint, the Malawi 2063, through which the country is looking to engage in overdrive to enhance agricultural productivity, and commercialization, industrialization, and urbanization as key deliverables. Human capital development, along with change of mindset, is one of the pillars that linchpin these expectations. Yes, to support a whole new way of doing business. Malawi 2063 visualizes a highly knowledgeable people with relevant quality education that incorporates a strong element of academic excellence and technical and vocational skills fit for labor market. To fulfill this expectation, the government of Malawi alone is short-handed. It requires partnerships with private institutions such as University of Livingstonia Foundation. The University of Livingstonia, like other higher learning institutions, public and private, supports government of Malawi to fulfill human capacity development, and it needs support. Here's where your effort, ladies and gentlemen, comes in handy for Malawi's 2063 agenda. The university offers science education, information and communication technology, computer engineering, social science and developmental studies, environmental management, food security and nutrition, among others. These skills are key prerequisites for the development train to really set in motion. Most of these disciplines have a bearing on technology and innovation, whose role in catalyzing industrialization is well articulated in government of Malawi's development agenda. But perhaps the big question should be, what is required to actualize this? As Professor Zeleza once put it, the challenge for Malawi's higher education system is how to consolidate and grow existing institutions and build new ones while increasing enrollment rates. I just want to unpack this to put it in context. Growing existing institutions requires enhancing faculty capacities in terms of numbers of staff and, of course, the quality of that staff. It also requires increasing student enrollment so that more students can go through the institutions. That calls for the education being affordable to the students. And it also requires that there is space to take in these students. And there should be facilities, including the necessary equipment. Generally, our universities in Malawi seriously lack most of these. And besides working on the existing institutions, there is also need for brick and mortar staff, building new universities. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, the task is huge. That's why the ambassador made sure that she be represented at this meeting to underscore the importance of your effort in supporting the government of Malawi in its development agenda. It is the wish of the embassy to see more similar initiatives towards higher education support for Malawi. Let us know at the embassy in whatever way we may be of assistance to this cause. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Ambassador Martin Banda. Next in the program, we have the pleasure of the very Reverend Nyasulu, who has carefully gone over the university uses of the money raised to enable them to educate Malawian professionals. Next, we'll have the video by Reverend Nyasulu. Welcome, Reverend Nyasulu.
And in 2003, University of Livingstonia was established, and the synod itself decided that it should have a university run by the church. In fact, as a fulfillment of a dream of Dr. Robert Laws, who was our first missionary at Livingstonia in the years 1890s. So in 2003, when the synod decided that the university should start, it started with only about 35 students, and it has grown tremendously. At the moment, we are the university is about 3,000 students. All the campuses. It started with only one campus and the Faculty of Education, but now we have close to 4 campuses. Livingstonia itself, which is Livingstonia Laws campus, and then we have Ekwendeni campus, and we have Kaningina campus, and then we are just incorporating College of Health Sciences in Ekwendeni. As a private university, we are not only the oldest university as a private university, but we are the best in terms of comparing our activities. The faculty members that we do have are well qualified, and what they do in their work is recommendable. And many students or even alumni that are working elsewhere, but they graduate from University of Livingstonia, there are stories, good stories about how good they do.
Ella Sichilwa from Zimba District. I did my bachelor's degree at University of Livingstonia, Laws Campus in Public Health, and I graduated in 2018. We are 3 in our family, and I chose to study at Unilia because I couldn't get into any public university. Hence, among the other universities, my option was Unilia because I heard they were the best teachers and they were hardworking. So I couldn't choose any other place rather than be at Unilia because of the teachers' hard work, and I knew that I would benefit from whatever they taught me. My school fees was funded by my family members, both my parents and relatives, so it was a contribution by them. And it was quite hard because the others too had their own families to look after, and by the grace of God, I managed to go through with the school fees and graduated. The knowledge I got in class is helping me now because I'm working in the research department for University of Livingstonia, where I'm required to write proposals to seek for funding, and the skills I got from my research methods and also project management class, they are really helping me now. I'm pursuing my master's degree in global sanitation. The program is flexible in terms of time because you can be at school for 2 weeks and also you can also be at work for 2 weeks. It's offered in blocks. In terms of school fees, I'm having challenges because with my salary, I have to pay the fees by myself and then look after my family. I have some dependents. So it requires me to get a loan from the bank so that I can keep up with the school fees. It's not just for me, but my classmates as well. They are also working, they have their families, and they have to get by with the loans from the banks and also from other financial institutions. I'm currently working with University of Livingstonia as a compliance officer, and my task is to review proposals to check if they are written according to the ethics and that they are not violating the human participants. Rather, the human participants are protected.
What is so unique about our university is that we are not just a private university, but we are a Christian university. So that Christian values that we teach our students from the beginning, throughout the time of studies, it helps them to build the character. And that character is recognized by many to be good for the industries.
I'm Mother Sister Mani. I'm doing Bachelor of Arts in Development and Communication Studies. I choose Union University because it's a Christian institution and it trains students to behave and it trains students to know and understand the truth of the Bible. I get funding through the scholarship called Virtual Foundation. My experience apart from the studies and the classes here at the Emilia is that we have qualified lectures. My first surprise is to go further with my educations. I would have loved the school could have the master's program here, I could have joined in, but because they don't have, I still plan to go further with my education in some other universities.
My name is Priyamite Kalimbira. I am from Mulanje. We are 4 in our family, 2 kids. My mom has a diploma, my father has a PhD, and my brother has a degree. I'm in the process of making a degree in human rights. I came to University of Livingstonia because I'm a girl who's interested in inclusiveness. With the course that is provided here, the human rights course, I feel like the best way to include all types of people is through advocating human rights issues.
Well, my name is Anne Singini. I'm studying here at Unilia and I'm pursuing the program of business management. Originally, I come from Zimbabwe, but I've grown up in Nzuzu, which is where the campus is. So I commute from home to school. I come from a family of 3, and I'm the first born of 3 girls. Being the firstborn in my family, no one has finished their school. My siblings are still in secondary. One is just finishing secondary and one just started college. So no one has a degree or a diploma. I'm the first to have a degree in my family after this one last semester that I'm to finish.
My name is Majiruga Muo. I came from Kalonga. I'm the firstborn son in a family of 4. My dad works at the hospital. He's an HTA supervisor. My mom is a business person, and my brother and 2 sisters, they're at primary school. My dad is a well-known professional who works in the health sector, so at least that's how I get motivated by him. I'm pursuing a degree in Bachelor of Social Sciences in Development Studies. I'm in 4th year. I chose Unilia because of its history and because it's one of the biggest institutions in Malawi, up there with other public universities. My school fees is paid mostly by the government through a government loan, the National Grants and Loans Board, and that's how I pay for my school fees. Other experiences apart from school at Unilia, the extracurricular activities that I do, sports, and I'm also a mental health advocate at one of the voluntary and non-profit making organization called You're Not Alone Malawi. We conduct mental health awareness campaigns at primary schools, secondary schools, and other public institutions. So that's what I do apart from my studies at the University of Livingstonia. When I'm done here with my degree, I would like to go for further studies, but that will depend if I have the resources. That means maybe if there's an opportunity of a scholarship or something else. And of course, one day I would like to get employed, but not as something that I'm looking forward to very much. But I just want to start off with pursuing my education further so that I can enhance my knowledge in the field that I'm working on. Thank you very much.
The demand for education in Malawi is so high. As I said earlier, that Malawi used to have only one university, but with the coming of private investors, so many people have seen that access to university is important, and the limited space that used to be there at that particular time has kind of been alleviated in a way. I remember this other day when we were receiving the certificate of accreditation, when we went to a place and there's a minister of education that came there, and he said, there are now about 13 private investors at that particular time, and there were only about 6 public investors. And on that day, 13 private investors were receiving certificates of registration, and only about 5 that received certificates of registration, but from public investors. And that minister actually said, these private investors have to be supported by the government. The government has been very slow to support that. I think it's because of the background where we're coming from. But there's what we call Association of Private Investment, APUMA, that are negotiating with the government so that the government can, in a way, consider the private investors' role in the country. Now, from the time the private investors boosted to where we are now, the number expanded, there's that kind of slow recognition that private investors are playing a very important role in the country. Therefore, the support of private investors is very integral in this aspect. And the University of Livingstonia, it being the first private and faith-based institution, and also among the best, I would say from last year, Livingstonia became number 3 in terms of investors. Number 1, UNIMA, University of Malawi, then secondly, Luana, and third was the University of Livingstonia, in terms of rating or ranking within the country. And that can also tell that the University of Livingstonia is playing a very important role. One of the challenging factors that has affected our investors in Malawi is these issues of who to enroll to become a student. All along, there's been like 6 credits, you can do university. If you're less than 6 credits, you cannot be enrolled. But University of Livingstonia has recently decided to have what we call a bridging course. If somebody has 5 points or 5 credits and then 4 credits, what the university does is it gives a chance to those students to come and do a bridging course for about 3 months. And you actually focus on the areas that that person did not do well at the Form 4 level. That has opened opportunity for those that are willing to go to university, but because of this 6 credits demand, that have been no chances for them, it has opened that such kind of students are now being enrolled. And we have found that such kind of students who have about 4 or 5 credits, they do very well in class. Which may mean during the time of writing examination of Form 4, maybe they are in different mood, and when you give them chance to proceed with their education, they do very well. And we have a number of new programs that are just being developed At the moment, we are working on the early childhood development programs. These programs will be held at yet another campus, which we call Rafiki campus. And we have done the curriculum development. We are now working with the National Council for Education. Very soon, by next year, January, we'll have these new programs for early childhood development. These programs are very important to the university because the early a child knows the values of his or her life. It prepares him for the future, or it prepares her for the future. So we feel like early childhood development programs that takes care of a person from the early age, so that person grows in the way that is already oriented in the good moral values of a person. So we thought the early child development programs have been developed from the certificate, from the diploma up to degree level. As a university, we are also so much interested in boosting the research department. A university without the research is like a secondary school. But universities are meant to do research so that they can feed the industries, the nations, the countries, and the people at large, so that whatever activities that are taking place should be relevant. So we as a university, we have the research department, which has embarked on a number of research activities. Recently, we're in partnership with a Caledonian University in Glasgow that is supporting us in projects of research in different fields, communities, and we are also in partnership with Global Sanitation Graduate School that we are doing the Masters in Global Sanitation program, which is also a consortium with other universities like University of Mzuzu here in Mzuzu, and the university that is in Blantyre of Mubas, Malawi University of Business and Sciences. So we are so busy in terms of expanding our area. We also do have research activities with the Look International that we have been doing research together during the time of COVID-19. So as a university, we have been so much recognized by the government. At the moment, as a university, we are participating in the 10 years of implementation of 2063, Malawi 2063. So we have been identified as a university, as a private university, that will participate in this. As I'm talking now, we are this week sending our 5 members of staff from the university to train in terms of research activities, so that the vision of 2063 Malawi will actually be supported by the investors, and the University of Livingstonia is one of the investors. So we feel we are playing a major role, and we have been certified or given certificate that we are among the universities that have been recognized by National Commission of Science and Technology, where we can be recognized to have to review research papers from different scholars, and we have staff trained, and we are recognized as a research university in the country. The University of Livingstonia has just joined what we call regional universities for culture in Africa, which is known as RUFORAM in short. RUFORAM is an African organization that looks at the innovations in agriculture, how universities can participate in terms of improving agriculture in different countries. And we're talking about 150 investors in Africa have joined this this organization. It's at the moment its headquarters is in Uganda, Kampala, but they will also open a regional university, possibly in Malawi, because we are doing discussions, whether it might be at Rwanda or at some place, but within Malawi. What they want is all universities in Africa to come together. It has been noted or found that there is a link between the university and the government. Universities are doing on their own, the government do on their own. And because most of the government in the country are more political, so we find that the issues of development is not being dealt with properly. So they have, with this forum, we have agreed that let the government be engaging the universities, because universities are non-political, and we believe that this being non-political, they will play a role in terms of developing the country. So University of Livingstonia, which has just started this culture program, this is now the second year since it started, they joined it and they have welcomed it. And what they are trying to emphasize as investors in Africa, which we feel as UNIRIA, we can play a role, is that the innovativeness of students. When we train young people in the skills that will develop the country from the time they are young and they grow, that will have a big impact in the country. For example, when we talk about Malawi 2063, the generation that is at present now that will actually appreciate the Malawi 2063 are the young people. For example, myself, I'm about already over 60. And now I'm talking about Malawi 2063. Then I sit down, I find that Malawi 2063 is just too far from me. Because at that time I will be about, if God allows me to be there, about 100 and something years. But that person who is now 20 years now, 30 years now, by 2063, he will be a mature person. Therefore, empowering the young people at this present in our universities is enriching the countries. So we feel that in this forum, we feel that these universities come together to help develop countries. It will be very impactful in terms of its effect in the lives of people. So as a university, we don't just look at the agriculture part, but all kind of social innovation, how do we relate to each other? You find that in Malawi, one of the things that has made us sometimes to be underdeveloped is the fact that you find that many people, instead of having time to work on their field or in their areas, they spend the whole day doing nothing. So the social innovativeness is like people should understand that how can I be useful citizen? This is where University of Livingstonia is emphasizing on the moral values in its programs. So that each class, whether you take social science, whether you take public health, whether you take education, whether you take agriculture, this spiritual aspect is being emphasized. That the person grows in whatever field with that kind of values that are having the Christian in it. So the Christian values do help that as we prepare for our young people to go to higher level of their education, let them not leave this moral aspect. Because you can be intellectually good in terms of going class, do very well. But to make that knowledge useful in a society, it needs some moral values to be impacted. So we feel as a university that will not be left out. So as we prepare our students in whatever course, and at the same time we look forward Malawi 2063, let these young people be aware that what we're doing here is we're carrying the whole country in our hands. And this country, by 2063, it will be such amount. So we don't leave that 2063 to politicians or political leaders, but it's like inclusive. And we feel that it's very important. New programs are coming. And I've mentioned about the the agriculture programs that we're having, and I have mentioned of this agriculture point 4, which looks at the sustainable agriculture, and then you look at the new technology of agriculture, and you look at how the community itself can be involved in agriculture, and then how the students themselves can prepare. It has been found that many young people now, when you tell them about agriculture courses, they immediately think of manual work. So not everybody will be encouraged to go and study agriculture. But for Malawi, agriculture is the backbone of its economy. And if young people do not appreciate their role in agriculture, then definitely Malawi will remain poor, without food, whatever, for a long time. So I want to have that kind of motivation that young people should be encouraged to take these agriculture courses. And these agriculture courses, we don't just talk about the manual kind of hoe handling and then go to the field and do that, but some new technology of agriculture. The machineries, how can we as a university do this kind of motivation initiative that our young people can appreciate what agriculture is all about. So this project that we're talking about, which I've said, agriculture 4.0, which we have also extended to agriculture 2063, would want to embark on agriculture research areas that will make young people understand the importance of agriculture and how they can improve the way we have been doing farming. When we go to countries like USA, UK, in Europe, Netherlands, you see when they say you go to a farm, they will tell you, they will show you a farm that is not literally using a hand and dig the ground. No. Well modern, technical way of doing the farming. You see some people do the milk by using the machines, how to take the milk from the cow. But for us, you have to literally use your hands to do that. So I think there's a number of things that the University of Livingstonia is thinking about. How can we improve agriculture? We know we have Luana in the country, which has been there for a long time. It used to be Bunda goes of agriculture. But from the time of independence up to now, we don't think we have done what we were supposed to have done. By now, Malawi would have been very far in terms of agricultural production, but we are still very low. Each year, people are in hunger. Each year, people do not have food. Each year, people do not have money. Yet we have the rich resources that we do have. So we want to embark on those kind of researches where we can improve the agriculture sector. On the same, for example, we also give the fisheries department. You can't believe that at the moment, fish feed is made in Zambia. Fish feed is imported from South Africa. Fish feed is imported from neighboring countries. They yet have agriculture university for many years. So we are saying if we can partner with these well-wishers and the donors that I've just mentioned here, the logos went that are doing the work of agriculture 4.0, they want to work with us, and they are coming this year in November to work with us and improve on methods of agriculture, so that at least our agriculture is not actually the agriculture of 1964, but it should be the modern one, where people can appreciate that agriculture is something that we can actually admire to be part of the farmers. It has been found that there's a gap between those that are working on the ground and those that are white-collared job. The University of Malawi stopped giving out certificates some many years now, and they find that those that are graduating, they go for the white-collared job. But in between, there are no people that are working, but they have certificates. So the research that we did informed us that we need to train people that have certificates, that have diplomas, and that have degrees. Not only having degrees, because if you only have degrees from 0 to degree, then you don't have people who are actually on the ground that are actually doing the work. So we want all the programs that we have in the university should begin from the certificates, then the diploma, and then the degree. What is also very important in our university is that the emphasis on the education of a woman, female students. We would want to have more students being educated, because at the moment we can see the numbers of education that I think men have been more educated compared to female. But we have seen that this in our homes, women are very effective. They are very instrumental. They can drive home to a certain level. So we cannot leave them out. So we are trying to promote the education of women. At master's program that I've talked, that I don't mention earlier, we have mastered global sanitation. What we have agreed, the master global sanitation, we have 60% women, 40% men. And at the moment when you go into class, you find that out of 20, you find that 12 are women, 8 are men. Why do we do that? Because we want to encourage women. And what we've done is we have even put scholarship, vice chancellor scholarship for women, so that women do compete to get that vice chancellor scholarship. So when they get it, so it's only for ladies. And those ladies that have done very well on this matter of sanitation, at the end of the day, they receive some award. So it's kind of motivating the women to take part in education. And we feel that aspect in the university, it will make a big difference in the society. We have recently just decided to have a cultural research center. There's no university in Malawi that has a cultural research center. There's only one university in Zomba, which is the only language research center, which is a particular section, a small one. But the the cultural research center, we are looking at how the church has grown. In Malawi, the growth of the church has mainly been channeled through cultures. If you go to Ngoni culture in Mzimba, you go to Ngonde culture in Karonga, if you go to Tonga culture, these missions that came to work with missionaries, to work with Malawians, they went through the chiefs. And how the chiefs were welcoming them, and about learning about how they used to live, that brought in a fertile ground for Center to grow. We feel the university, if it actually goes into cultural research center, you find that many cultures have lost their moral values. So we feel if the university can be in this area, there are so many people that are coming from outside Malawi that want to study a certain ethnic group in terms of how they live, how they relate to each other, what are their moral values. If you have a cultural research center established by the university, you find that it will be so a viable place where people can be going and learning a number of. And we still have so many custodians of culture in all different areas, the chiefs, whatever people that are there, even lecturers themselves, even professors. There have been some that have majored in the study of a culture. We want that one to be at a university, where university would be receiving so many people, and we can even have some museums for different cultures. For Ngoni, you find a museum. For Tonga, you find their own whatever they used to believe in, etc. So, lucky enough, we have been accepted by some investors that are going to help us. One of the investors that is going to support us with this cultural research center is the University of Miami in Ohio. It is a big university which has a Department of Anthropology and Culture. And when they come to be with us next year, some professor will be here for sabbatical for a year. They will come and help develop the Cultural Research Center. University of Edinburgh in UK has been used as African theology study, and they do some cultures that are being studied there. they have also accepted that they will come and work with us. We have so many plans that as a university, we want to be a unique university compared to the public and private universities that Malawi have at the moment. Challenges. As Vice Chancellor, there's a number of challenges.
The major issues that we are facing at Los Campus, and also talk about the students' welfare in terms of their fees payment and the infrastructure that is needed. And finally, we'll talk about our suggestion on how we could help our students achieve their educational goals. Let me start with our concerns that we have faced. Our first concern is the accommodation issues for our students.
There's a shortage of infrastructure, a shortage of classrooms, and even the administration. You can see this administration we are using as an administration block. It was just a house at first, and we just turned it to be an administration. So we need a good and a spacious administration block.
Students must have shelter. Now, as far as that is concerned, most students, as each intake, numbers are increasing. Now, for that, we need new hostels and new classrooms, desks, all that, because we feel that that can now support the students to do their education well.
For you to attract more students or more lecturers to come and be with you, you have to have some good facility. And infrastructure is one of them. To have good classrooms, to have good hostels, to have good teachers' houses. But as a university, this we are still very far. In as much as we see that the foundation has assisted us a lot, but the way the world is growing and the way applications are coming to the university, we still see that we have a long way to go to have this kind of infrastructure in our universities.
My name is Wangani Jawinga. I'm a third-year student studying journalism and development communication studies. My experience here has been very good ever since I came in 2020. During that time we do not have hostels, but now with the coming of this beautiful hostel, we've been accommodated, and it's very nice being here because we don't have to walk longer distances going to class, which is very good because when you're tired you cannot do studies very well. Another good thing about this hostel is that we have water, clean water, and electricity when so it's really nice, and I love that thing about the school because we don't have to run out of water like from now and then. It's really nice. However, we do not have incubators as girls, so it's really unsafe and unclean when we are having our menstrual cycles, because we'll just be throwing the pads away. Some people will just be throwing the pads away, which is not good and clean. So if the school would consider building an incubator for us, it wouldn't be a bad choice. Again, we have a few rooms that accommodates 4 people in each room, which is, I think it's not good because it's like we're crowded in the rooms. So if I come with my staff, my major comes with her staff, and everything is just scattered all over the place, so it's not good. Yeah, and also we only have hostels that accommodate females only in this school. So if there would be another hostel or other hostels that accommodates male students, it would be good.
My name is Memory Shema. I am from Lilongwe, and I'm doing business management, and this is my first year, second semester. Being here, it has been a great experience so far. With the construction of the new hostel, it has been so helpful to the girls, especially because before, when I came here, that was in March, we were living in a house. Other girls were living at the suite room, dining, others in bedrooms, so it was like crowded. There was like no privacy. But being in the hostel has been great because we have enough bathrooms so that we are not on a queue for us to have a bath. We need some two prices. We have access to the library, which normally closes at 9 p.m. So it has been very grateful, unlike to those who live outside, because they have to walk a long distance to go to their hostels outside the campus, to the library, and to the classes where they can do their studying. Even we have discussions during normally at night. So being in the campus has been grateful, and it has been helpful to all of us. The hostel is accommodating right now 64 girls, but it's small because there are a lot of girls coming in and others are accommodating outside, which is quite not good. The disadvantage which we are facing right now is about the kitchen. We don't have a kitchen where we can go to prepare our lunch, our suppers, our breakfast, because the school says we should go and eat at the bamboo. But not all of us can manage to pay at the cafe money for food. So if they can construct a kitchen for us to be using it to cook instead of using the hostel, it could be very helpful, because in the hostel we are normally 4, which is making the room small for all of us to accommodate all the 4 girls, because we come with stuff and the room is very small for all of us. And everything about the new hostel, like honestly, it's fine. It's very great. If they could construct another hostel which it can accommodate at least other girls, that could be really very nice. Because before we were 3, before now, when we were 3, at least the room was big enough to accommodate 3 people, even 2 people. Even the lockers, they are not enough for 4 people because we don't have much space in the room to leave our luggages. So if they can construct another hostel, at least that could be very, very helpful to the girls, because others right now, as we are talking, they're outside, they're living outside the campus, and they have nowhere to go to because the hostel is full-loaded. As I'm talking right now, the hostel is full-loaded. All rooms are occupied with 4 girls, making it full to have no space for the other girls. The hostel just accommodates the campus, accommodates only female students. Male students live outside. It also a very disadvantageous to them, because others also want to live inside the campus. When it comes to their studies and everything, we normally do it during the night. Others, the library, like I said, that it normally closes at 9 p.m. So for them to travel long distance to their hostels, which is outside the campus, it's quite a disadvantage to them as well.
The second concern is the fees payment. The university relies 100%, or I can say almost 99%, from its income through tuition fees.
When it comes to our wage bill, you look at how many staff members we have within the university. There's just so many qualified staff. And at the moment we would be saying we are talking about 300 and something staff members from support as well as teaching staff. And we look at the wage bill is about close to 100 million per month. And when you look at the amount of fees that students are paying and then the amount of money that is supposed to pay the employees, it's a big struggle. So we would want to have a number of programs that will be generating some financial resources. Because if we just depend on the fees for students, it's not possible to expand from where we are. But if we have some other resources that will do cushion for something that we would want to do as a university. So the financial problem is becoming big each time, because of the demand that is there. So in as much as we want to have more students, but we also think of how do we pay the people that are going to employ in the university. So we need to think about how other resources can be found.
If we can have donors who can support the students financially, we want donors who can support students to have several basic necessities for them to learn well. So we have got several things which we want to do at this institution, but finances are not forthcoming, and we are facing problems of finances. And if we can have a hand on those finances, then that will smooth our operations here at the Ekweden campus.
And the payment of fees is very erratic from our students. This is related to the poor economy that Malawi is going through, devaluation of our kwacha, as well as the flotation of the kwacha. The third, which is general, not only for laws, is the epidemics. Just a year ago, we had an epidemic of COVID-19. COVID-19 disrupted most of our services. And as well, we are taking precautions, and where you have a big gathering of students like this, you must be very strict with those precautions. And currently there is also cholera that is hitting some districts in Malawi, of which Rugi is one of the districts. And the communities surrounding our campus here, somehow we have reported cases of cholera. Los campus has about 1,400 students for all the 7 programs that we are offering here. And this degree program that we're offering is Bachelor of Education, Humanities, Bachelor of Education, Sciences, Bachelor of Public Health, Bachelor of Food Security and Nutrition, Bachelor of Environmental Management Sciences, and Bachelor of Education ICTs. And all these programs are offered here, but while we also have our master's program, which is hosted at Kaningina campus. And out of the every year, when we are recruiting new students, like this year, we offered about 300 students that were expected to start in this semester. And about 5% of the students have failed to come due to challenges, including challenges in payment of fees. Some of them could not afford, but the students or the parents, if they could have afforded, this student would have come. Out of the continuing students, when they start, almost in every year, we lose 2% of the students that are withdrawing from our programs because they cannot afford to make the full payment, and some are even owing us large sums of money. And that's about 20% of our students. They are owing large balances that they need to be paid. What are the infrastructures that we would really see ourselves, or that we need to improve our campus? We do not have adequate accommodation for students. That's both for females and males. So we need hostels for our students, but our current priority will be for females. The third infrastructure that is needed in the classrooms. As you are aware, that the University of Livingstonia, since it started, while we have expanded in programs, but we have not expanded very much in infrastructure. And currently, we, out of all these 4 programs, year 1, 7 programs, year 1 up to year 4, the classrooms are not adequate. So we need classrooms, construct new classrooms. Our library that we are using was used as a home economic classroom by the time when it was a secondary school. We need a modern library infrastructure. And the laboratories, we have 3 laboratories: the physical science laboratory, the biology laboratory, and the chemistry laboratory. These laboratories also need some equipment and reagents to the standard that is anticipated or expected by our regulatory body, National Council of Higher Education. To mention about equipment is also required, because for the lecturers to teach well, and even for the offices where we were working, we need lecturers to have the laptops, and we need the heads of department and the deans of faculties to have the computers where they can also be working. Each and every time they need to be working maybe 24 hours. Laptops for all lecturers is very important because they can even work at their home. Thanks to the University Foundation, University of Livingstonia Foundation, and some well-wishers that previously they could be donated the laptops for the lecturers, but those laptops are now not functional. Most of them, they are not functional. We cannot find even the spares, and that has been a challenge.
Thank you, Reverend Nyasuru, the administration, and the students who participated in the program so far. Next, we'll have music by a Malawian artist. His name is Jaco Jana. And after that, we'll have the second part of the program.
akumuzunza mwanayo. Adala kwanji mwanayo kurutsa mzofuda sote. 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 Mwanamanja, mwanamanja, mwanamanja. Mwanamanja, mwanamanja, mwanamanja. Mwanamanja, mwanamanja, mwanamanja. Oh. Akubuma, akubuma. Hello, I'm Jaco Jana. I'm a singer-songwriter. The song that you're just listening to right now, it's called Mwana Mwamtawa, you know, to parents that, you know, those that really don't have much time for their kids. I mean, those that run away from their responsibilities, you know, and then the kids go through a lot of stuff in their lives. So it's not a good thing to do. So yeah, that was my first track called Mwana Mwamtawa. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaco Jana. Now we'll have the second part of our program, which will be a continuation of how the fundraising showcases the beneficiaries of the funds that are contributed to the University of Livingstonia, students' funds.
Some of the things that were mentioned is the issues of modern technology. As university, we need to go in the new technology that actually drives the world. If the country doesn't have technology, then definitely it is not going to go any further. When we look at countries that have developed very well, rich, they have gone into technology. I would want our university to go much into these issues of technology. And if we go into that, then we find that we will be moving together with the world. So the facility of technology is very important. You find that here, the internet is a problem. You'll be talking with someone in US, someone in UK, and you find that the internet in Malawi is so poor that you cannot continuously talk with that person for 1 hour without being disconnected. So I look at the facilities of technology. How can we improve our technology in terms of internet, how to communicate, how to pass information, etc. Recently, we actually just discovered that our website as a university has become a challenge. when we are working with our friends in terms of face-to-face, what the university is doing, they will question us, what you talk is so immense, so big. But what is in the website is not what you are saying. What we are trying to say is, let the website of University of Livingstonia be improved as much as we can, so that everybody, when he clicks to the UNIRIA, he is able to access all the information that is needed. When you look at the other universities, you find that on the website, you can find so many things. The brochure would be there online. The lectures would be there online. The courses that you are supposed to apply for, they are there online. Everything is there online. You don't have to go and then fetch for a hard copy. No, you just go online, you find every information is there, and even the printing of the application form is there online. Everything is online. And when you want to apply, you don't even have to write something on a paper and then send it by email. No. You just apply there online, and the response comes immediately online. So these are the things that we as a university, we need to go towards the technology.
This part is mostly essential for students to do their research and their assignments. Now, currently we have issues to do with the internet connection, which is now affecting students' research and everything as far as communication is concerned. Apart from that, we also have issues to do with books. Yes, we have the library and we appreciate for that. But then there are books of which we are in need of, which can help us to produce standard work. That means if the school itself and even the well-wishers can help us in that part of donating us books and equipment, like for example computers at the library and other sections like the ICT lab, that might help us to produce standard work.
At the moment, we don't have a library for the university, a big one. When you go to Los Campus, you find a library, a small room with some books and some reading tables, etc. You go to Ekondene, equally. You go to Kaningina, the same. But we wanted to have a big library so that you have all the books that you need. Apart from the e-learning, that is, you use the online books, but a place where it can accommodate a number of students at one time, at one point. But at the moment, when you go to one of the campuses, you find that the library is able to accommodate less than 20 students. But a class of having a school of about 1,000 students, and the room for reading will be only accommodate about 20. The rest are reading outside. The reading environment has to be very friendly for the students to concentrate. And we feel like if we build a big library where students can be there and reading, as we see other universities are doing. In the north here, we look at what Mzuni University is doing. They have been supported efficiently by World Bank, and there's a very big library that is being built. When you look outside, you say, this is the library. And we as the University of Livingstonia, our dream is that at one point we'll have a central library, especially at Ekondene, where it's central between the Los Campus, Kanina Campus, and the Ekondene Campus, and other campuses. So the challenge that I've mentioned here is that the reading place, the library where books can be kept, and where people can be reading and doing research as the other universities are doing, we don't have. So we feel like this is a challenge that needs to be thought about and then planned for in terms of how we can improve that library.
As a student union, we have done several ways on how we can deal with the challenges. For example, we have sourced out some houses which are near the campus to be hosted by the students, so that we deal with the issue to do with hostels, because we don't have male hostels. But from that, there was that campaign that we should talk with TNM and Airtel company to help us with their internet bundles, so that they should reduce the prices of their bundles, so that at least we might deal with the issue to do with internet connection. Yes, the management or the school itself, how it should help us. First thing, I might say that we should find a way to construct new classes, new hostels for us students, because we feel that without those things, education is highly affected. And we also need the management, or should I say, or even the well-wishers, to help us construct hostels for both male and females. Yes, even though we have some hostels for females, but then we are in high demand for hostels for males, because as time goes, the campus is actually growing, because each intake there is that higher rate of which new students are enrolled. That being the case, if the management can also deal with the issue to do with desks, the issue to do with computers, as far as technology nowadays is concerned, and as far as education is concerned, we feel that that will help much in students' life. The other part is, even though the management has already done the part to do with the research department, of which now students are encouraged to publish their papers and everything, their work, that is quite a good improvement. And then we still want the management to encourage more students to also involve themselves in the research, because we feel out of that they can be able to produce standard papers and standard work, which can be highly recognized worldwide.
So when we find people that come and help us in terms of developing infrastructure development, that is a big lead for us. We have recently approached Malawi Housing Corporation in Malawi. They have actually agreed that they will come and work with us. There is some loan from the government, money from the government, that is improving infrastructure in institutions. And the Malawi Housing came and we discussed and we've agreed that they may help to put some infrastructure in our different places. But that can only be said comfortably when we have seen them coming and they are doing the work. We have approached the Nico buildings. They have also accepted to come and then support us. We are still working on the paperwork, how best that be done. But they have done the survey. They went to all campuses. They went to Kaningina, they went to Ekwendeni, they went to Los Campus at Kondowe. So but the growth of the university has been achieved because of many partners that have worked hand in hand with the university management as well as the Senate.
It was a place where from which the gospel radiated, where schools were first established and then moved, hospitals, so many good things had their origin here at Livingstonia. The very first electric system, Livingstonia. The first piped water scheme, Livingstonia. And this wonderful road called Gorodi that goes twisting and turning up the side of an escarpment. It's an amazing experience.
And then his wife, Jenny Kirk, was mainly focusing on the fundraising for the university. This is where the foundation is drawing its roots. During this time, from the time when the foundation was established, university has been assisted in many ways. Many ways. Each time when we want to start a new program, we have to share with the foundation education facilities like IT facilities supported by computers and some material that would be used for the internet. The foundation has been very instrumental. They have been also sending faculty members from USA who would be coming from time to time, working with the university, either for a semester or sometimes in a semester come 2 weeks or 1 week, they would come and go back. So I've been working together with the foundation for all this long time. And the foundation, as the university has been expanding to other places, has been very encouraging and supportive. At the moment, we can mention some of the infrastructure that the foundation has supported. At the Mekwendeni, we have the female hostel, which is big enough that it takes about 40 students. You come to Kaningina, also has a female hostels too. One occupies about 22 students, and the other one is occupying about 40 students. So we can see that the foundation has been very instrumental, very supportive in terms of looking at the infrastructure. But also we have realized that as a private university, scholarships has been very big issue in terms of supporting needy students. Has been very difficult. Students would come and then they would drop on the way before they finish their studies because parents are not able to support them with their education. So each time when we have been sharing the stories with the foundation has been coming in to support. And at the moment we have students supported by the foundation at the Lowes campus, at the Kwendeni campus, as well as at the Kaningina campus.
I'm Frankie Mwanjawala from Kalonga, that is the northern part district of Malawi. I am a student at the University of Livingstonia here in Mpi district. I am coming from a family of 8 children, and I am the second one. I am doing the Bachelor of Education Sciences here at the University of Livingstonia. In our family, we only have one brother who has a degree, but currently is not working. So, as I am here, I was facing problems of financial support. You know, school requires fees, that is tuition, and the other things like boarding facility, boarding tuition, boarding fees, and also some cafeteria fees. This was a problem to me, but through sponsorship which I'm receiving from the United States of America under the University of Livingstonia Sponsorship Board, which is in America, I've been helped so much. Here in Malawi, we have this the problem of tuition and other things, a serious problem. Since I started here, I've had so many friends who have not continued with school just because of failing to pay fees. I remember my best friend who I had is not coming to school just because of fees. He has located places for different years, but he's not coming up to now. So it's very pathetic. But as for me, I'm very lucky because I found a sponsor who is paying me school fees. This is for this I appreciate very much, and I thank the sponsors who are there in America who are helping us because now we are just learning perfectly. On my experience here at our University of Livingstonia, apart from this, the environment which we are, which is very good, on study issues, here we have got very good institution which is accredited by the government of Malawi, and we also have some very dedicated lecturers who are teaching us, so we don't have any problems academically here. This is why I chose University of Livingstonia as a school. Apart from the academic endeavors which we have here, we also have a very good scenery around the school. We have perfect environment where we've got beautiful mountains, and also we have beautiful trees which we enjoy, and we even meet our friends who are very friendly So it's a school which has a friendly environment everywhere. My plans, as for now, from now, after I finish my bachelor's education degree, I want to continue and do my master's. So this is what I want to do in the future. If everything goes well, I want even to go and pursue a PhD, a PhD in the future.
And this has become a kind of priority when you compare to the need matters that are within the university. So as a private university which is training a number of students, we can count on the foundation support. If we look at how many students have been supported by the foundation from the time they started supporting us, we find that there are so many. And possibly some of the students are still in the school, but they are supported by Uniria. They have shared their stories in terms of how they have been assisted.
My name is Thokozani Mvula. I'm coming from Zimba district. I am Ngoni. I'm reigning at the University of Livingstonia Rose campus. I'm in a family of 5, but I'm the firstborn. Lucky enough, I'm the only girl who has gone far with education. I'm doing the Bachelor's of Education in Humanities at the University of Livingstonia Rose campus. The reasons why I chose the University of Livingstonia is that I thought it was the best private school here, the private university here in Malawi, and it has good qualified lecturers, which I just like it. And the other reason, the good reason, is that it is recognized by the government of Malawi. And I just love the place. Being Livingstonia, it's mountainous, it's beautiful, it's evergreen. I just love it. It's on a plateau, so I just love it. And of course, the journey here at school, it was hard at the beginning. I had no one to sponsor for me in my education. Lucky enough, the university has the sponsors, which gives sponsorship, scholarships to needy students. Being the needy students, and I had a chance to be recognized as a needy student, so I'm in a scholarship. My experience here at the university, of course, it is good. I've met new friends, like many of them. Sometimes in my free time, I'm a salonist. I make hair. I'm a designer, I can say like that, which gives me good connections to get known to my friends, and also female lecturers, which also want my service, like as a salonist, and I just like that. Of course, sometimes it's like, sometimes when it comes to do school, I have to do like assignments, like reading, continuous assessment also requires my time. My plans, when I finish school, when I finish my 4th year, like I'm in the 4th year, I would like to get employed. I would like to teach to different schools here in Malawi. Like, I love being a teacher. That's my dream. And the other thing is like I would like to do a master's degree. Yeah, if God allows, I would like to do the PhD. That's what I can say. I thank you so very much. Thank you.
So us as leaders, me especially as the Vice Chancellor, together with my management, we do sit together from time to time receive reports from the campuses about how are we faring with the students in terms of managing fees. It has come to our notice that it has been very, very difficult. Almost every campus you find that there are many students that are failing to pay their school fees. So we gather the names from campuses, and the campuses do give those names to us with reasons and stories behind them, how they have failed or they are failing to pay the school fees. So the management is there to work with the foundation in USA by submitting names that have come from campuses, and then they do support some needy students.
For example, this semester I have received possibly most 5 students who came to look for an assistance financially. And sometimes when you hear about their stories, they try to narrate, to explain. You feel possibly so much concerned, and up to an extent of some members of staff, they have ever possibly donated some monetary issues to support for short term, even some providing some meals and relish for their survival. Like for my experience, of course, last semester we had some cases up to maybe 15 students. Some possibly they will leave even without telling you to say I've withdrawn. Only later on is when you get the report. So I withdraw because of the following. So we, like in my office with my members, we work together. We always compile the list, and when there are some assistance from well-wishers, we always come together to work together and assist those students. So there are some scholarships which have been provided, and thanks so much because these scholarships they have been utilized effectively. Like last semester we had almost we provided 10 girl students who have been funded to proceed with their studies. Some have been called from their home. Some they were already here, but they presented their issue in time. So we offer those scholarships after discussing where we have what we call scholarship committee to look into those issues. Apart from some of students withdrawing, I would have loved if you possibly that scholarship can also be extended, maybe we can also be assisted in other areas. We have some areas like we may need some additional blocks, classroom blocks, because I can see there's an increased number of students. Possibly looking at our fees at the University of Livingstonia is lower than possibly some of the private institutions. And then additional classrooms and hostel for ladies. And the ladies, possibly they have opted to come on campus because they find it more secure than going off campus. And then also possibly we may need some assistance because in areas of lab and possibly equipment. Initially, I think this is one of the universities that provided the science courses deeper than possibly any other private universities. Yeah. So if we may be assisted in those areas, so much the better. One other thing that I've also liked at this institution is Those who have trained at this institution also, they do come, and some they have tried to offer their services. In this case, I'm trying to refer to the alumni, the University of Livingstonia alumni. So they have been with us. I may give an example like Wanangwa Kamanga. She teaches in English. We have Mr. Chitani in geography, Mr. Brave Mwanza, the mathematics and statistics. We have Margaret Soko, the public health, just to mention a few. But I'm happy that they have posted mine for their institution.
The need for the university is growing each time. As the university is growing, so many things are needed. And the foundation has been also very supportive in terms of giving us some education material. For example, I've been supported at the time we were building a computer lab at Kaningina and the library. The foundation has been supporting with computers that are there supporting our students in terms of studies. When we run short of books, sometimes they do support us by sending us some support to buy books where we can support our libraries in all our campuses. And this time what has been so much impressing is that all along the board of directors in USA has been meeting without us deliberating together with them. But of course they have been giving us feedback. Each time they meet, they would give us feedback of what they discussed. But recently, for the past 2 years possibly, we have been invited to be part of the board of the Unilever Foundation. And as a university, we do participate in discussions of how we can improve the partnership between ourselves and Unilever. It has become so apparent that there's need that when we talk directly from our side and they also talk from that side, we are actually moving on the same pace. And we know what is happening here and we know what is happening at the foundation. And recently there has been again the idea of having committees within the board that will be looking at issues like monitoring and evaluation of the activities that are taking place, but also looking at the finances. So this committee that is responsible for finances, and again for the operations of how the partnership is operating. This has improved the partnership between us, and we feel this is the way to go. There are so many things that they do encourage us as a university. Sometimes we can fall in a very difficult situation, but when we meet and discuss matters of our concern, sometimes they do come to support us. I would give an example. During the time of COVID-19, it was a very hard period. We couldn't move from USA to come here, and from here also to go to USA. But these virtual meetings that were taking place were so important for us, because when we felt so desperate in terms of how do we move on in terms of supporting our institution, then the foundation would encourage us and even give us some ways of how to support. I would give an example. At one point, we had a virtual meeting when we did the fundraising, and that fundraising raised some significant amount of money, about $100,000 plus, that came at the right time when we had nowhere to go in terms of improving our infrastructure. But the foundation during that time assisted us by raising that money for us to support the university. And I've been also very supportive in terms of when we want to begin a new program. At the moment, we are working together in the program of hospitality and hotel management. And the foundation has some people who are experts in hospitality and management, and they are trying to help us in terms of how we can have this program within the university. We developed a curriculum, and we shared that curriculum with the foundation, especially David Sangri, who is president of some of hotels in USA, and he has put his input in terms of how that program should look like. These are some of the things that we mentioned to say that the relation that is there between the foundation and UNILIA is very, very, very important. We also want to mention President Donachiro, who has been there for many, many years. And he has been, from time to time, been in touch with us. I want to thank her so much because of her role that she has played tirelessly from the time she became the president of the foundation. And also board members too, that are there, that we meet, like this time when we were meeting on 24th of September, we would discuss a number of issues. And from our side, they would ask us, how are we doing in terms of running the university? That gives us an opportunity to look back from where we're coming from, and then what are we planning to do. And we feel that this is very, very important. Apart from the foundation, we have made a number of connections to other institutions. For example, this other time when I went in USA, apart from talking with the foundation, what met other universities leadership. Went to Miami University in Ohio. I went to Taylor University in Indiana, and we went to Mesa University in Georgia. And we see this to be very, very important in terms of the growth of the university.
Our next program will first start with a break with music from Jaco Jana, and then after that we'll have some testimony from the students who are being trained to be pastors. And that video will be coming from Tyler Home.
Hello, hello, hello again. This happens to be my last piece for this event, for this concept. And I'm pretty sure that you guys are having a great time. I know you've seen me before last year, but I haven't seen you yet. Yeah, I feel really privileged and honored at the same time. We had the same concert last year and it was beautiful. You guys are wonderful. You remembered me this year. I feel really, really honored. Who knows? Next year we're gonna be together again. But it's really a privilege, and I'm glad to be part of this wonderful, wonderful project. So this one is called Usalile, Usagonje, Work So Hard. Please enjoy. Salile, Sagonje, Sagona, work so hard, Sagona, work so hard. Sagonja, usagonja, usagonja, usagula, usagula. Work so hard, you're still alive. Don't give up, you're still alive. Work so hard, work so hard. Don't you give up, don't give up. You're still alive. Don't give up, don't give up, give up. Don't give up, you're still alive. You're still alive. Work so hard. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know what to say. I love you people. Love you. Tiwonana. Goodbye. Zabuna zonse.
Good morning. My name's Shadrach Haswell Tender. My name is Daniel Onias Kajengo Moyo from Muzimba.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joseph Mwafwirwa, pursuing a Bachelor's of Art in Theology and Development at Imuli at Mandani campus.
Hi, I'm Modesto Chavula. I'm coming from Zuzu, that is northern region of Malawi, and I'm doing Bachelor of Theology, and I'm in second year.
My name's Reverend Kenson Kweto. I come from Church of Central Africa Presbyterian, a Synod of Zambia.
Good afternoon. I'm Crawford Julius Shawa. I'm from Ekwendeni Presbytery, and my home village is Jombo. I'm married with 3 children.
I'm here at the University of Livingstonia, pursuing Bachelor of Degree in Theology and the Ministerial courses. The main aim of doing this course is that to be the shepherd, the servanthood, to transform people's life in spirituality and also physically.
I'm doing theology, and when I come out from this university, I'm going to be a parish minister for a congregation. You know, theology is a calling. I didn't expect that. I don't know what God saw in me, but I've given myself to Him.
This degree will help me in transforming people's lives spiritually and also physically.
My BTH will be based on politics and food security. And the impact of this degree is to enable the Church of Central Africa Presbyterian Synod of Zambia and the Presbyterian family to participate positively in the politics, especially where food security is concerned in our synods.
To contribute to the spiritual development of the people, those will be preaching in various congregations, taking care of God's flock. And then without that, without being well trained, you cannot cope with the situations that are out there. Of course, I'm studying here at University of Livingstonia, Ekwendeni campus. But before that, I was at Los campus. In 2016 is when I graduated with a bachelor's degree in education. And I remember some of the people who sponsored me from Unilia Foundation and through Patricia Ideman. I also remember Dichira and John Knox, if not mistaken. They supported me a lot. That's when I graduated in 2016.
The reason I'm studying theology and the development studies is because I want to help the people in the community or in Malawi holistically. helping them spiritually and physically.
As I'm here at Uniria, there's a number of things that impress me in terms of classroom, in terms of internet, in terms of libraries.
Yeah, and here at Uniria campus, we have a lot of challenges, but also we have a lot of good things. With the large number of students, the rooms are not as that much of accommodative because we are so many here at the University of Livingstonia. All this is happening just because they are offering good and good education here at university. So a lot of people wants to learn here.
I like a lot about Unilia. When I come in here, I look at the infrastructure, the geographical position is just good. And you know, when I came up here, I surveyed the place, and I've seen a lot of classes, big ones.
The ratio of the students in lecture is good, and we have qualified lectures here at Unilia.
The library itself, of course, it has some challenges. Yeah, I think we need to innovate it and to have a bigger one, because the one that we're having, we're facing some challenges to access to materials.
And also we have the challenge of books.
So thank you for the Uniria Foundation for your help to us, because we are really appreciate for your job that you are doing at Uniria, because it really shows that indeed you are there to help us. May good Lord bless you as you are still helping us.
I think coming from Zambia, it's a long way. I need also to drop my thanks to Unilia Foundation for the scholarship that they have given us who are coming from Zambia Synod. I think we say thank you.
I'm here to say thank you, Unilia Foundation.
Lastly, I would like to say thank you so much for your support as Unilia Foundation. Your support is highly appreciated. May God keep blessing you.
Next, as we come to a close, I would like to introduce Mrs. Donna Chirwa, the president of Livingstonia Foundation, who will close with a report and introduce the foundation members and make some closing remarks.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Dr. Cromwell Masuku, for emceeing us all afternoon. I'd like to say good afternoon to everyone and good evening to our friends in Malawi, as it's about 9 o'clock in the evening there. I'm going to do a very quick slideshow, but first of all, I wanted to say a special thank you to Reverend Dr. Nasulu, the Vice Chancellor at the university, and all of the university staff. They are just wonderful to work with. Very, very responsive to any of the questions that we're asking about how the money is being spent that is going there. And they were very responsive in helping us today by putting together the videos that you have seen. I also want to thank Tyler Holm, who is at the faculty of the theology, for sending the video that he sent. So what I'm going to do very quickly, because of time constraints, is move on to the video slides. So hold on just a second. I'm not terribly computer savvy, but okay. Okay, so we are the University of Livingstonia Foundation. I have been the leader since 2014. following in the very, very big footsteps of Henry and Jenny Kirk, who started the foundation and have been my mentors all through and have taught me a great deal about what the purpose of a foundation is. We're a 501c3. We're incorporated in the state of Maryland. And I would like to say that every year we, as we do our registration through the state of Maryland, we have been continued to be accepted. We raise funds for the University of Livingstonia, which is a Presbyterian university in Malawi. And all of us on the board are volunteers. And we work not only for this fundraiser in September of each year, but are working and for the foundation all year long. And I can say for myself, and I believe the others as well, we all really enjoy it. So again, because of time constraints, I'm just going to show photos of each of the board members, but please go to our website at ulivingstoniafoundation.org, and you can read all the wonderful things about all of these board members and who are very highly competent to be on the board and really bring a lot to the board. First of all is me, and I'm just very grateful to have all of the rest of the folks to work with. We have Wenji Mtonga, who is our treasurer, and she's a board member. And Diana Leslie Maswi, who is our secretary and, of course, a board member. Ellen Kakwende is another board member. Dr. Cromwell Masuku, who has been our MC for the day, but works all year long on doing whatever he can to help with the foundation's work. And Mary Masuku, who is always there for sometimes when I just need to talk something out. I'm very grateful for that. Zipangani Vokiwa, who is not able to be with us today, but he is with us all year long. David Sangri, who has been working very hard to, as you heard Reverend Nyasulu talk about the possibility of a hospitality management as a new program at the university. And David is the person that he mentioned who is an expert in this area and has been encouraging the university in this area. This is our newest board member, Reverend Dr. Chenny Konji. This is Patricia Erdman. And by the way, Patricia is now in Malawi at the University of Livingstonia. She has volunteered for many, many years in teaching and advising. And this time she has also brought along many, many computers. I can't even tell you how many, not packages, but lots of computers that she has brought with for the university. And Patricia, also within the foundation, we have a number of different funds for scholarships. And Patricia is the Women's Fund Coordinator. She has reached out to many of her friends and has brought in a considerable amount of funding for women students. And finally, Marvin Kaluembe. And when I say finally, let me tell you, we could not do this program without him. Not only is he a board member supporting all of our activities on the board, but he is the one who teaches us how to do this virtually. And we could not do this without Marvin. So we're very, very grateful to you, Marvin. The next slide, I just have this slide and one more. Just to kind of show you some of the things that we have been doing. In 2021, we supported 64 students to the amount of $69,649. We used funds to rehab 2 buildings that are now being used as women's dorms. You've heard some of the young women talking about the dormitories and the need for even more dormitories for both men and women. We paid for furniture for those dorms. We purchased a cottage for housing of staff and volunteers who come to teach. And we helped with graduation expenses. There were actually 2 graduations in 2021 because of one had to be delayed because of the COVID the year before. And then this year, so far, we have supported 52 students to the amount of $43,032. We've sent $38,000 for dormitories to be rehabbed and built, $6,000 for furniture for the student dormitories, and $1,704 for IT access points. We still have a fair amount of money in the scholarship funds, which we will be getting out as school has now started this semester, now in September. So we will be moving more money for scholarships and for the other needs that the university has. And as you have heard through our presentations today, is that there are many, many needs at the university, especially in the area of dormitories and dormitory furniture. The university is growing by leaps and bounds because it is known as an excellent, excellent university with excellent professors. And so students are just flocking to come and be admitted. So there is a real need for dormitories. There is also a need for, of course, laboratories and more IT equipment. And also, I would really like to encourage anyone who is adventurous to think about coming to the university to volunteer for a short period of time, a couple of weeks, a month, a semester, because there is always a need for teachers. And I have done that myself and can say that it is absolutely wonderful, because my own personal feeling is not only is Reverend Nyasulu and his team just wonderful to work with, but these students, and you've seen a few of them today, are just magnificent and just want to do the best they can to get an education for themselves, but also to help the country of Malawi and the world, because when we have educated people, the whole world benefits from it. So anyway, I hope you will donate. I hope you will volunteer, and please feel free to contact me or any of the other board members if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone who participated, those who watched us, and those who will watch us in the future. Thank you. We could end with that in mind. Maybe Marvin, if there's any more music, we could use that as an end.
Hello, this next one is called Be Undefeated. To all young people out there and everyone else, be undefeated. Whatever your mind can think of, your mind can achieve. Falling down is not failing, but failing to rise up. You can be anything in life, so long as you want it. When I say you want it, you really want it. Be undefeated. Please enjoy. My dearest child, he is my love. Take it to the world and keep it close to you. world. Keep it marking. It's going to be dark days. That's the world. Believe in yourself. All fingers will point at you. I said that's the world. You'll be up to no good. Believe in yourself. I will stand your ground. Oh, be undefeated, my child. You will lose, you will fail, you will fall, and you cry by my side. My son, be undefeated. You will lose, you will fail, you will fall, and you cry by my daughter. Be undefeated. Though it's hard, though it looks so bad, stand your ground, and you'll soon be proud. Be yourself, don't you pretend. Believe in yourself, and you'll be proud. Don't you pretend. Oh, stand your ground. You can be anything. Oh, be yourself and work so hard. And life will give you what you need. Oh, you will lose, you will fail, you will fall, and you'll cry about my son. Oh, be undefeated. I say you will lose and you will fail. I say you will fall and you will cry about my daughter. I said be undefeated. I said be undefeated. I said be undefeated. Oh, be undefeated. I said be undefeated. You will lose, you will fail, you will fall and you'll cry, but my child, be undefeated. You will lose, I say you will fail, you will fall and you will cry, but my child, be undefeated. I say, be undefeated. I say be undefeated. Be undefeated. Be undefeated. Be undefeated. I say be undefeated. I say be undefeated. I say be undefeated. I say yeah.